have me do? Where would you leave me now? What would you have me do? So here's an interesting thing about sometimes when writing vocals. So I was piecing all that together. The bottom part I just had singing this B flat. What would you have me do? Oh, that's not actually true. When I recorded it, it's kind of this A to B flat. And listening back now, I kind of realize I need to make a decision whether I'm starting on that A and sliding. What would you have me do? What would you have me do? Or what would you have me do? What would you have me? Or a clean A to B flat. But the way it is now on that initial recording, I'm not even sure if I start on A or if I'm in the cracks. But anyway, listening closer, that needs to be fixed. And then, what would you have me do? What would you have me do? I initially had to switch that because I realized when I first sang it, what would you have me do? I started on E flat, but that first note, because that other part started in an A, gave me what's called a tritone, a diminished fifth or an augmented fourth interval. Not very nice. But again, in that track, quickly, we don't notice it so much. We listen a little closer and we're like, what's that weird sound? That's what it was. So I switched that line. What would you have me do? So the first one is a perfect fourth. I'm not 100% sure though that I'm like that. But anyway, that's what that got changed to. And then the top line is just an octave higher than that low one. But kind of interesting when we're writing vocal lines that sometimes we have to really break it down to figure out what exactly it is we're trying to sing and then how that works with the other parts, because sometimes with everything else going on, we don't actually notice it. There's like something that doesn't sound quite right, but it's easy to kind of just be like, I'm just going to leave it. And then we look at it a little closer and we're like, that's it. I'm going to fix it. And that brings us to the last note. So I went, what would you have me do? It's a C. But remember how I said that lower part was what would you have me do? Well, it's a B flat. So that means that last note, what would you have me, is a major second interval. I have a B flat and a C. Now I could live with it. We do hear major second intervals in chords, like a dominant seventh chord, like a C7 but I'm not too sure that I want. So I may change that. What would you have me do? What would you have me do? That puts them both on a B flat. What would you have me do? What would you have me do? Or I stay on a D and I have a major third. What would you have me do? What would you have me do? I think I'm going to try that.